Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're the Hebrew Israelites back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Before we begin this lesson, we're going to face the East, give all honor, praise and glory
Unto Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Rakah Kodash.
Alright, double honors to the elders and the apostles that we learn from. You already know who they are. They're the teachers, the real leaders of all Israel today. Shalom to you Israelites on the highways and hedges, doing your due diligence, you know, week in and week out, teaching on the highways and hedges to the hopeful elect. All right. And shalom to you Akwaf in order, meaning you Israelite sisters. That's very important. And shalom to you Israelites that may look like these other nations. You might look like a so-called white man, Chinese man, Arab or whatever. But if your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, you're a Hebrew Israelite more than likely. I mean, you are a Hebrew Israelite if your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. But if this truth resonates with your spirit, no matter what your appearance, what you look like, regardless if you look like a white man or whatever, so-called white man, then you're more than likely a Hebrew Israelite if this truth resonates with your spirit, which is the true gospel, that new song in these end times, man. Okay, coming through the mouth of the Lord, the men that the Lord set up in these end times. All right. All right, so we're gonna flow in the spirit, speak about, you know, these times we're living in, because it's almost crunch time. You know, we're living in perilous times. You got as the cost of living, you know, inflation and things go up, you're gonna see violence increase, man. And not only that, but you got the election coming up in November, I believe, and between now and then, it's gonna tensions are gonna boil over, man. Because right now we're on the verge of a civil war, and it's gonna happen regardless. It's biblical prophecy. Lord willing, we'll show you in the scriptures that speaks about, you know, what's getting ready to happen in America, man. Because it's gonna be all-out chaos. And every one of you Israelites that cleave to this truth, you're gonna be tested in your own individual way in the very near future. You know, everybody's going to have their own trials and tribulations to go through to see if you're that fine gold, to see if you're of the chosen, okay? Because many are called, few are chosen. There's many people called into this knowledge that you're a Hebrew Israelite, but only few out of that many are chosen, man. The Lord has a very sophisticated sifting mechanism going on, man. Spiritual, okay? So basically, like the first phase of the sieve will be a very large sieve where big rocks can get through, all right, but it filters out the massive rocks, right? But then you go down to a finer one where you get to the little rocks. It gets all the bigger rocks out, and then it goes through another sift and it gets the finer rocks out to where you got nothing but like sand in the end, and then after that you got the dust. The Lord is sifting on different levels in this truth. So what you got right now, you got different camps set up, right? Everybody's coming to the knowledge that they're a Hebrew Israelite, and they've all cleaved to their own camps. They have itching ears and they follow the teachers that they believe have the truth, right? Everybody thinks they have the truth because they're in their lot. They are where they're meant to be in this time, these end times, right? So you got IUIC, you got ISUPK. These are different sieves, right? And what they do is, you got the Israelites that come into this truth. They're counted as like the rocks, say for instance, right? So what these rocks are doing is they're being sifted by getting into these different camps. They go to a false camp, then, you know, that's a big rock that's been sifted. And then you get down to the ones that are teaching 100% truth. That's the finest sieve. Now, it don't stop there. You might be among the congregation of them that are the real prophets that the Lord set up. But that still doesn't guarantee that you're of that fine gold. You're not that treasure that is being sifted for, that the Lord is seeking. You know, not yet. You're not yet the chosen. We got to go through the fire, man. Which is basically after Jacob's trouble, and each of us have our own personal scenario where we face persecution, you know, the ones that endure through that, they are the ones that are going to be that fine gold, man. That's the final sift, if you get what I'm saying, man. So all these people in the other camps, they're through already, unless they repent at the last minute and come into the knowledge of the truth. Which, in all honesty, as much as these camps have been going off lately, if you haven't escaped yet, it's a good chance that you're not of the elect, man. Because it's very plain for the holy to see, you know, who has the truth in these end times, man. And that all comes down to whether the Spirit of the Lord is with you or not, man. All right? Now, it's not exactly the lesson I was going to go into, but I just have to explain that, okay? That there is a very fine, very sophisticated sifting mechanism going on, because not everybody that puts on fringes or a fringe t-shirt talking about Kwame Asharala and all that, not everybody that knows they're a Hebrew Israelite is in the truth, man. Okay? So, you know, the doctrine matters. And the most important part of this, of prophecy is to know what the mark of the beast is, man. And if you're cleaving to all these other camps that ain't got it right, there's only 2 camps that I know of that have got it right. There might be a few other little camps out there that are speaking the correct prophecy when it comes to the mark of the beast, but that's a major red flag if they're not teaching what it blatantly is, which is the RFID microchip. If they're not teaching that it's that, then they're going off, and that's a red flag. And if you can't make it past that first obstacle, that first sieve, then hey, you're one of the big boulders that's going to get discarded. That's the junk that the Lord don't want, man. You got to understand this. There's more to this truth than knowing that you're a Hebrew Israelite, man. That's only the first step, okay? So all you cleaving to IUIC, ISUPK, man, if you don't come out of there, it's guaranteed you're through already. Those are not the real prophets, man. They might be speaking some truth, waking up our people. Yeah, you're an Israelite, brother, and people are waking up and coming into the knowledge that they're an Israelite. But that's all the Lord's setting up that, man. The Lord set that up because a lot of people have to come into this in order for the ones that are proved to be known in the end, man. Right, so the first precept I'm gonna bring out, right, letting you know that right now we're living in perilous times, because the Bible speaks about that mainly in the, well, a lot of it is in the Apocrypha, which is the reason why they took that out the Holy Bible, right? So this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 14. I'll start at verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh," which means draws near. So this means that nothing good is coming to the people of this world, man. Okay? These people are headed on the road to destruction and they don't even know it. Most people in this world are getting ready to perish, man. You know, and as much as we've been teaching it sound like a broken record, we have to, because you people aren't, a lot of you watching these videos, you watch these videos for entertainment. We ain't here for your entertainment. Okay? We don't, hey, it's a serious message behind this, man. We might be saying these things casually and reading these scriptures that we always seem to read a lot, but you got to listen to what we're saying, man. You got to get ready. All right? This is going to happen in your lifetime very soon. Start again. 2nd Ezra 15:14. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh," the destruction of the masses. It says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And you're seeing a little bit of that happen right now before major persecution comes. So how much more when the major persecution comes after the dollar crashes, man? When that dollar crashes, it's game on. It's survival of the fittest, basically, man. When it comes to the 2/3, but the men of the Lord, they ain't gonna have to be prepared. They ain't gonna have to have a tent and a ghillie suit and hunting equipment, and you know they ain't gonna have to have all that. You know, if they have it, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Lord willing, you ain't got to get to the point where you have to use that. Lord willing, the Lord protects us, you know, in other ways rather than carnal means. But you know, we're getting to the point where, you know, that's getting ready to happen, but on a larger scale. Because right now you got the migrants, right? There's an incident where you have migrants that are breaking into homes in America, man. And, you know, they're basically doing whatever they want and no one's stopping them.
Living in fear because armed gangs, they're alleged gangs that you're looking at, are taking over apartment complexes.
Earlier that morning, I had seen several individuals carrying assault weapons down to the next floor of the building adjoining mine. And I had reported it to the police. So all day we were nervous and on high alert anyway, because they told us that they really couldn't do anything unless something happened. It is not by any means an isolated occurrence, unfortunately.
You know, the law ain't really getting involved like that. You know, they're saying their hands are full. So you people, what I'm saying is that this is just the start of it. The beginning of sorrows, man. So it says, one people shall stand and fight against another with swords in their hands. The modern day sword is the gun. So that's talking about civil war also. You're going to see groups of people rising up against other groups of people. And it's becoming quite clear what that's talking about, man. Because all this Kamala Harris and Donald Trump situation, you got Edomites that are going to be absolutely enraged if their savior, Donald Trump, doesn't make it into office, because that's their last hope in saving America, man, and making America great again. But, you know, it's laughable to us that know what's going on, because we know ain't none of them saving America, man. Donald Trump is just playing mind games with them, telling them everything they want to hear as to what he's going to do to save America, and it sounds so beautiful, like music to these Edomites' ears. But the joke's on them, because Donald Trump ain't gonna come, he ain't about to save nothing. You know, and in all honesty, it's looking like Kamala's gonna win, which I hope she does, but not because I like Kamala Harris, not because I think that she's gonna do the country any good, but I just want to get this thing popping. You know, I want that civil war to happen, man, because hey, during that civil war is gonna be the time of judgment. These Edomites are gonna go ham on you 2/3, man. You little dreadhead swinging little niglets running around terrorizing Chicago and all that, man. You little drill rappers, man. Hey, the Lord's about to rain judgment on you, man. And he's going to use Esau, his sword, to do it. Right? Verse 16, 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. And sedition is a, you know, when the groups of people incite an uprising against the government. You know, I forget how it's quoted, the exact meaning, but it's basically like people coming together and speaking out against the government. So there'll be sedition among men and invading one another. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So they ain't gonna give a damn about the police. What's the police gonna do? Or the government says I can't do this. To hell with the government. I'm gonna do it anyway. So that's, hey, they're not gonna regard their kings nor princes, their rulers, their government, right? It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So, hey, it says that they shall be invading one another. That's what's happening now with the migrants, man. Over in Babylon the Great, aka America, man. Those migrants are basically showing up at your door with these long ass machine guns, saying, "Get the hell out! It's our house now." Invading one another, man. And that's happening before the thickness of Jacob's trouble. Okay, so it just lets you know how true these scriptures are. And you can see ain't no bouncing back, because like I said, between this thing with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, if Donald Trump gets in office, it's still going to be a civil war, because it's going to embolden these Edomites to rise up against these migrants and start saying, yeah, we're taking our country back. Our king's in office now, and these Edomites are going to go ham. Okay? They're going to feel emboldened. Their racism is going to really show forth, as if it ain't already, but it's going to be twofold. Okay? So either way, whether Kamala Harris gets in office, or Donald Trump, civil war is coming, man. And you can see that November is only just up the road. No, we're very close to November. It's already the beginning of September, man. You know, so ain't got long left before you're gonna see sparks flying, man. Okay. So then it goes into martial law in verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law, because it's going to get crazy during the civil war. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's all due to your proud ass Edomites, man. You Edomites are so proud, it's unreal. And because of your pride, hey, it's going to backfire on you, man. You're going to have to suffer. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Okay? Migrants, civil war. It says, and the houses shall be destroyed, men shall be afraid. You know, during Jacob's trouble, the firemen they ain't gonna be able to keep up with the fires, man. There's gonna be fires everywhere. You're gonna see a lot of burnt down buildings, and there ain't gonna be no one coming in and distinguishing them. They're gonna burn out. This place is getting ready to look like a war zone very soon, man. So in verse 19, I'll close it out here. It says, 2 Ezra 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And they're doing that right now before there's a lack of bread. How much more when there's a lack of bread, which is coming, man. That is, famine is biblical prophecy. There's going to be a worldwide famine, okay? Because it's ultimately going to be the time of the Lord's judgment. Because you didn't listen to the prophets. You people that are outside the ark, that don't want to pay attention, that don't want to take our videos serious, or you're watching it for entertainment purposes, and you're not getting right. We ain't here for your entertainment, man. We're not Wi-Fi, okay? You know, they're the watchmen for Israel. Wi-Fi, we ain't them. We're not IUIC. We don't come with the gimmicks and the glitz and glam to try and wow you, okay? Or the catchy titles like, you know, Edomite's blood leaking all over the streets. You know, like Wi-Fi likes to say, to get you to draw in viewers, because it's all about the viewers with them, the likes, the followers. It ain't even about that, man. It's about who's taking it the times we're living in serious, taking in the scriptures serious, and who's not. That's all it's about, okay? So a lot of you people that look at these videos as entertainment, you're gonna get caught up in this madness, man. You're through.
Good. Yeah, so you were talking about the times we're coming into, and you were saying it's the time of Jacob's trouble. I just want to quickly bring that out in the scriptures just to show you the things that we say are of the scriptures. We are reading it straight from the scriptures, and we're just feeding it back to you. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7, and it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And the he that is talking to is the elect, you know, the elect of Israel. They're going to go through their trials and tribulations, but ultimately they endure until the end. They'll be delivered. They'll receive salvation, right? But like my brother was bringing out, you know, you got these migrants all going from door to door, strapped up, kicking people out of their houses. Like, that's just the beginning, right? And it's funny how they started in the Jake neighborhoods. So the police ain't really, you know, doing much to resolve that issue. They're just sort of like, yeah, you know, we can't really confirm that they're part of a gang or anything like that. Even though you can see clearly, like, who walks through, you know, an apartment complex strapped up with weapons, kicking people out of their houses? Like, you know what I mean? It's like a scene out of New Jack City, right? But I was watching this other clip, and this Edomite woman that lives in a predominantly nice area, right, with expensive houses. They're now starting to see the side effects of it, because they're starting to see the migrants moving towards their areas.
The security video we've seen over the past 6 months is chilling enough. Unencumbered and well-equipped thieves knock out glass doors, disable the alarm system, and unconcerned, easily and frankly quite loudly slide a half-ton safe down a flight of stairs before carrying it off in a rental car.
They come in teams with backpacks. Each backpack has a different tool set. Some are the breaching tools, some are the electronics, jam alarm systems. Very quick, sophisticated actions.
Local, state, and federal officers went to work and put enough pressure on these thieves to head elsewhere, yet they've cycled back from L.A., New York, Tennessee, and Ohio now, and more efficient than ever. Bouchard says the last group of alleged thieves arrested received training in Chile, and they're roving with dozens of others.
So we'll see, like my brother said, during the election time, November, it's going to be on and popping. I mean, literally. Right? So I want to jump over now to the book of Habakkuk, because these things that we tell you are written aforetime. They're written for our learning, but the prophecies that are about to come to pass are written in the scriptures. Right? My brother just brought out a whole bunch of scriptures pertaining to the times that we're coming into, the uprising of the people, crazy times. This is in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Yeah, so this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, and it says, "And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables," meaning whatever you're about to see here, write it down and make it plain what you're seeing. Right? It says, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And it's not talking about physically, I'm gonna take off running. It's talking about run, prepare yourself, get ready. Right? You before a race starts, you got the man on the stand says, on your marks, get set, and then he fires the weapon and off you go. It's talking about getting ready for the times that we're coming into, right? It's talking about preparing yourself. When you see these things that are written in the scriptures, understand the times that we're coming into. This is where it begins. This is where it starts getting a bit hot under the collar, right? It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right? And it's saying the vision is yet for an appointed time. So at some point, it's going to happen. These things that Habakkuk is writing down, making it plain upon tables, is going to happen. The Lord is saying that it's going to happen at an appointed time, which these are the times that we're in now, that we're coming into. Right? And it says, though it tarry, wait for it. Though it's taken a long time for it to happen, like if you can imagine, Habakkuk wrote this thousands of years ago, right? And now it's starting to happen now. Though it tarried, though it's taken a long time to get to that point, that appointed time, wait for it, because it's going to happen. It says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when this thing starts coming, it's going to start happening right after the other. So when the economy collapses, right after the other, they're all going to keep coming faster and faster, and then it's just going to get peak from there. It's going to be all out chaos.
It's going to be suddenly, man.
Yeah, suddenly, right? And then that's what I mean. That's why you have to prepare for these things. We're here set up as watchmen, bringing the word out as it's written and telling you, like, look, prepare yourself for this. Seek the Lord while he may be found. If you're not seeking the Lord, then what are you doing? You're just willy-nilly just thinking, I'm gonna survive on my own merit. Not in the times that we're coming into. It's going to be a time like no other. So you have to be prepared for what's coming, right? And the preparation starts with Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai. That's where the preparation starts. Once you get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you build up in your faith, and then you rely on the Lord to protect you during those times, right? You don't just, I'm going to be like a doomsday prepper. Yeah. I'm going to get my bug out bag. We're going to meet at point A. You know, then we're going to trek to the new camp location. Then we're going to secure the perimeters. None of that's going to happen.
You can't plan how it's going to go down, because it's going to catch you off guard. Like, for instance, us doing this lesson right now, it could all kick off now, man. And the army could be roaming the streets, rounding people up. And then what are we going to do? Run back to our house? Oh, just got to grab my bug out bag. Nah, man, you got to leave that behind. You know what I mean? Like, you never know how it's going to go down. You could be out of town on holiday, you know, far away from your home when it all kicks off. Say an EMP was to go off and you're at work as a delivery driver and you're in like a couple cities away. Your wife and kids at home, now you're separated from them. Your car no car's working, and you're having to try to make your way back to your wife. Anything could happen. That's why if you ain't got the Lord, if you ain't on the Lord's good side, if you ain't part of the elect, when you get in these situations, you ain't gonna have the Lord helping you, man. You're gonna be left to your own devices. There ain't no praying to the Lord, oh, help me get through this, help me get home to my family. Your prayers are falling on deaf ears, man. The Lord ain't listening to you.
All because you chose to go your own way.
Yeah,
you know?
man.
That's why you say it's imperative you seek the Lord while he may be found. You know, the doors of mercy is still open. You know, it hasn't kicked off fully yet. You know, you're starting to see the signs, just as it's written for an appointed time. You know, we're seeing the signs now. So hey, look, get ready, it's coming. Brace for impact. You know.
Yeah. Right. So I just want to read the book of Matthew, chapter 24, because this also speaks about the times we're living in now. And the Lord Yahushua, is written in red letter, he himself said this to prepare us for this time that we're living in now. So it's very important that you take heed to the book of Matthew chapter 24 and you apply it to your life in this day and age. Okay? Right, so it says, I'll start at verse 4, Matthew 24 and 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, to the disciples, take heed that no man deceive you, because obviously you have many camps out there teaching different things. Who has the truth out of all of them? There's only one truth, man. Who has it? Hey, it's up to you to figure that out. It says, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, or the Hamashiach, shall deceive many. So a lot of people are going to say, I have the truth. But they're going to deceive a lot of you by saying, MOTB is sin. That's ridiculous. All right, so I gotta go to the shop, and if I want to buy a portion of chips, I gotta say, oh please sir, I've sinned today. Can I purchase a portion of chips? I did a terrible act earlier. Did that qualify me to get a portion of chips?
I ate a bit of bacon this morning.
Yeah.
Please, I want to buy some more.
Yeah, I ate pork today. Can I get a portion of fish and chips, please? You got
to eat this sandwich. What's in it? Bacon.
Yeah.
Can I buy now?
Yeah. Now you can buy. Yeah. You've sinned. Come on, man. You gotta wake up, man. These people's breakdowns are ridiculous. It's laughable. But so it says, for many shall come in my name, saying I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Verse 6, Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. What's going on right now? We're on the verge of World War III, man. Or we are. Some say we're officially in World War III. It says, see that ye be not troubled. Take that to heart. Take that to keep that in mind. Don't be troubled. Okay? Don't be thinking about the future, about, you know, us teaching about some of us being cast into prison and all that. Hey, cross that bridge when it comes to it. Don't even think about that, because you might not be in that scenario. It doesn't say everyone is going to be cast into prison. It says many of you shall be cast, or some of you shall be cast into prison, it says. So it says, I'll read verse 6 from the top again. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, so we're not at the end yet. This is how we measure the time diligently, man, by watching the prophecies. Certain things have to play out before the return of the Lord. But we do know that we're very close to Jacob's trouble. And that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. But when it really comes down to, when it really happens, a lot of men are going to be very fearful in that time, man. But it says, see that ye be not troubled. It says, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right, we're seeing that happen. It says, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, pestilence goes into diseases, which a lot of them are man-made. But you do have some out there that, like for instance, a lot of people are catching HIV all of a sudden, man. That's a pestilence. You know, that's a disease. And that's on the rise. They're saying like what? Over 50% of American black women have herpes or something like that. You know, you got all kinds of diseases on the rise in these end times, man. But also you got the Triple E, you got the Mpox, you got the Vid, you got all sorts of stuff, man. Just as it was written, and it's all happening on cue, on time. Wars and rumors of wars, pestilences, famine, that's happening on a small scale in certain diverse places in the earth. But when Jacob's trouble happens, there ain't gonna be no trucks coming in and out with food, filling up the supermarkets, your Tesco's, your Sainsbury's, your Piggly Wiggly, Winn-Dixie, Food Lion, all of that. You ain't gonna have all of that. You ain't gonna have these trucks coming in and filling up your storehouses, man. They're gonna be empty. Scriptures speak about that also, man. So, and earthquakes in diverse places, okay, keep that in mind. That's happening on a major scale right now. Earthquakes everywhere, man. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Verse 9, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and and shall kill you. Not all of you, some of you shall be martyrs for the Lord. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, which is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. You're going to be hated for the name, for the doctrine that comes with under that name, man. Not all nations can make it. Esau is the devil. All the world's problems are because of them. You know, they were set up to be destroyed. All of this that we teach, which is according to the truth of the Holy Bible, we don't water it down like Christianity. Okay, because we're not coming under the fake name Jesus. We're coming under the true name Yahushai. So the whole world is going to turn on us, just like they did recently, the Muslims during the UK riots. They're going to turn their focus on the so-called black Hebrew Israelites during that time. We're going to be public enemy number one, man. So you got to prepare yourself for that. When you come into the knowledge of this truth, don't come in it for entertainment purposes or the next thing in black culture, black power movement. It ain't about that, man. This is real life. This is life and death. And this is a very serious thing we're involved in, man. So you got to count the cost. Right? I'm getting to the point here. Verse 10. It says, and then shall many be offended by the gospel that we teach. It says, and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Okay? So people, even of your own family, will deliver you up to be killed, man. Deliver you up to the authorities, where you'll be placed in a FEMA camp and you'll die in those FEMA camps, man. When your family think that they're doing the right thing, or your so-called friends in the world or whatever, they think they're doing the right thing, hey man, they're going to cause you to be put to death, whether willingly or not, whether consciously or not. Verse 11, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. And you're seeing that happen now with all these false camps. It says in verse 12, it says, Matthew 24 and 12, and because iniquity, which iniquity is sin, and because sin shall abound, and abound means to be on the rise, it says, the love of many shall wax cold. So you're seeing that now, man. Because of all the looting going on, the migrant crisis, you got all these Edomites, a lot of them that maybe weren't leaning upon being on the racist side. You know, they were just happy-go-lucky, live and let live, peace with all. Now they're starting to look at Jake sideways, man. The love of many is waxing cold. And that's just a small example, man. But you're seeing a lot of cold-blooded things going on in the world right now, man. You're seeing killings, people get slayed in the streets on the rise. The videos that I see on Instagram and other platforms at times is unreal, man. The things that I see. You know, the way Eve be treating their children, you know. It's crazy, man. Right, pay attention to this, verse 13. But he, Matthew 24 and 13, but he that shall endure to the end shall be saved. Right, so it's all about endurance, but you can't endure unless you stock up on faith, because you're going to need that. That's going to be like gold during the times we're coming into, man. Because if you ain't got faith and you fold under the first little bit of trouble that you come across, haven't eaten in 2 days, man, hell with it. The Lord ain't dealing with me. I'm going to go in and join these looters because they're eating right now. You ain't a looter. You're not one of them. That's 2/3. They're fighting for their life because that's all they know how to do to survive, man. Your way of survival is what you've been either teaching about or learning about, man. Okay? That's your way of survival. You got to keep that in mind during them times, man. The Lord is going to do miracles for his elect. You've got to understand that. You know, because this time we're coming into is a time of testing to see who are really part of his chosen. That's the finest sieve we're going to go through, is during this time of Jacob's trouble. No, actually, I take that back. That's the second to the finest sieve. The finest sieve will be the MOTB, man. Who takes that mark? That will be the finest sieve. Whoever makes it through that, that's the pure gold, man. Those are the ones that are going to shine like the stars in the firmament forever. You know, metaphorically speaking. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Well, actually, I'll read verse 14, close it out. So this is Matthew 24 and 14. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, which the Israelites were scattered among all nations. It's talking about to the Israelites. So we're teaching all nations to sift out the elect, which is going to be of Israel, regardless of what they look like, or what country they're in. It says, and then shall the end come. And that's happening right now. So now we know we're at the end. This is the end, okay? It's just certain things have to play out before the Lord's actual return. But we're in the time of the end, okay?
Yeah, I wanted to bring out this scripture because a lot of the points in the book of Matthew, you know, you're talking about the famines. That's a major point, you know, and then also family and friends turning on you as well. This is in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 21. It says, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voice. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. So in that time, you know, when it all kicks off, you're going to have women that have, you know, brand new babies and, you know, just brought new life into this earth. You know what I mean? Like, but they're going to go through, you know, extremely hard times. You know what I mean? Can you imagine having a brand new baby and you're running from a horde of crazed lunatics, and you know, you're trying to keep your baby quiet, and it's just because it's hungry. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go through it. Yeah, you know, like, especially you women. You women are gonna, you know, like experience a whole nother level of trouble. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be trouble for everybody, but you women are gonna suffer. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, I can't even put it into words. I can't describe it because I've never lived it. Right? Because
women ain't built for conditions like that, man. They like to be comfortable. Girls want to have fun.
Exactly. You know, women, you know, that's why you don't see a lot of women on the front lines, because when you're seeing people getting blown up in front of you, you know, like, you know, not saying that women can't mentally, like, there are some women out there that can't mentally focus on that, but, you know, when things are blowing up around you, bullets whizzing past you, people dying, your mentality isn't prepared for that. You know what I mean? Like my brother said, you want to be comfortable. But when you're, it's all kicking off and everything like that, it's going to be a whole different ball game. Your mentality ain't prepared for that type of violence. And I'm gonna keep reading, verse 22, and this goes into the point that you were talking about. When you go to your grocery store and there's no food in it. Verse 22 says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." Right? If the trucks ain't coming in bringing the food, restocking the shelves, there ain't going to be no food there. And what do you think is going to happen? Like when you look at, the epidemic, the lockdown epidemic that we just went through, the vid, yeah, you understand, right? People were fighting over toilet paper.
Have been charged with a fray and are due in court next month. Investigators spoke to the other woman, a 49-year-old, who'd allegedly been assaulted, but she wasn't injured. The incident, one of several at Australian supermarkets, as desperation for toilet paper reaches irrational levels.
There was a man that got stabbed up over some toilet paper. Imagine now there's no food on the shelves, right? Imagine, the chaos that's going to ensue when people are hungry.
You're going to see people animalistic. Like
yeah, that's a whole nother beast.
Before, man. Even people you're going to see the animal side of them, man.
Yeah, that's a whole nother beast. When people want a necessity for like toilet rolls and all that other stuff, people can say, whatever, I'll just find something else. I'll find some leaves or toilet paper. When there's no, not toilet paper, newspaper. Yeah. But when there's no food on the shelves, that's a whole different animal. Yeah. Because now the primal instinct's coming out. Yeah. So you could be looked at as food, potentially, and there will be cannibals out there,
Because during the vid, whenever that was going on, and they had everybody locked down, there wasn't no tourists in Thailand feeding the monkeys, and then monkeys were rolling around in packs looking for food.
Yeah.
And there was a video clip where one little monkey had found some food. Man, all the other monkeys, a big mob of them, attacked that one monkey that had found some food. They attacked him. And that's in the animal kingdom that was going on. But that when it comes to the human kingdom, should I say, when it comes to the human species, you're going to see that same behavior patterns, man. You're going to see people, if they got food, they're going to be hiding, trying to eat that food, man. Because if people find out you got food, they're going to be kicking in your door, man.
Yeah. And who are the vulnerable? Right now, the single ladies out there that are living on their own that can do it by themselves. Them independent ladies. That's it.
That's it.
You're the first target because you're not a threat. You're not. I mean, you may carry a weapon or something to protect yourself, but you only got so many bullets, right? And if the men that are coming in, hey, they could just do the same to you, take you out, and then they got the whole house to themselves. And
they're gonna have fun with you first.
Yeah. In some cases, if they can't get to you like that, then hey, the Lord would have mercy on you and you'd be taken out quick. But if the Lord ain't dealing with you, oh boy, it's scary to even imagine.
Yeah, man.
Right? And it says here, and again, like, this isn't just going to be like, people like, oh yeah, we got a little clique, we got a little group together, we can defend it off. Because the scripture says even here, in verse 23, it says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid." Right? So that trumpet, that'll be the times when, the local law enforcement, the numbers disconnected. You can't get through to the police. The emergency services are so busy, you can't get through to, none of the emergency services work. Now you got a whole gang of migrants outside your front door trying to get at you. You know what I mean? Like, women will be afraid, men will be afraid, because you imagine, like, somebody's trying to kick in your door because they know you got food, a whole gang of people, right? But the point is in verse 24, and it says, "And at that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies." Right? So your little friend, your type circle, they're hungry too.
Yep.
And they know you got food because you shared it with them. Yeah, I've been preparing. They know.
It ain't gonna be no love during that time. Even the love is waxing cold now, while
Yep.
there is food, man.
Yep. I'm gonna read it from the top. It says, "And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run." You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's like I say, man, it's gonna be extremely bad out here on these streets. You know, you got not only your friends to worry about, you got all types of people to worry about, right? Verse 25, it says, "Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world." That's the Israelites. The Israelites that is hearkening unto the voice of the Most High, keeping the commandments to the best of their ability, building up in faith, like my brother mentioned earlier, building up that faith, having faith that the Lord is going to protect us during these times. Yeah, it says, "Whoso remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world." So the wicked are about to get judged. The wicked are about to get judged, but the elect, as long as they endure unto the end, they're going to be delivered. You know? So, hey, the choice is like quite clear, crystal clear for me. You know, I don't know about you, but I know where my faith is going to be lying, with the Lord. You know, it ain't going to be relying on men, because it says in the scriptures, you know, friends fight against one against another like enemies. Your friends are going to turn on you. You know what I mean? In dire times, could you really trust, you know, someone of the world? You know? But hey, here we go. You know, these are the warnings that the men have been set up. The men of the Lord have been set up in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3. It says, "Son of man, I've set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel." And that's who we're talking to. We're giving you the warning to let you know, like, look, November time, potential for everything to just go to chaos. Because whoever gets elected, whether it be Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, you know, it's going to kick off either way.
Yeah.
Right? So, hey, we'll just have to wait and see at that time and just have faith that the Lord's going to protect us, you know?
Yeah. And like you was talking earlier about how you know, women with children are gonna have a hard time, you know, because Jacob's trouble is gonna be even worse on you women than it is the men. Okay, it's gonna be hard for the men too, but you women ain't built for, you know, the times we're coming into, man. It's gonna be very hard on you, and you're frail, weak creatures, man. Okay, men are built stronger than you. They're tougher than you mentally, and in most cases, because there are a lot of wimpy men these days, but in general, men were designed to withstand certain pressures more than women. That's why in horror movies, when a certain thing kicks off, first thing you hear is women screaming. You know, rarely do you hear men screaming like women. You men are gonna scream like women too during the times we're coming into, man. So this is I'm gonna jump down, because I was reading the book of Matthew 24. I'm gonna jump down a few precepts from where I was last, because, you know, this is related to what my brother said earlier about you women, right? So it says in verse 19, 24:19, "And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days," meaning women that are breastfeeding little children, man, infants and stuff, man. Because how are you going to feed those children during that time? You can't develop breast milk if you're not eating, and your child crying, and that's going to be a burden on you, man. A lot of people are going to be killing their children and themselves just to escape what's coming, what's happening. And you know, a lot of people are going to eat their children, because they're going to have to put that child out of its misery for the great, you know, thinking they're doing a good thing for that child, because who wants to watch their infants suffer through there being no food? And you're going to be in a state of hopelessness where you know you're not going to be able to provide food for that child. So when that child is crying constantly, you're going to have to put it out of its misery, and then you're going to end up eating that meat that's left over there, because that's what you're going to look at that carcass as, is meat. It's hard to speak on these things, but hey, that's the reality of what's coming. You know, they say that after 2 weeks of there being no food, or within 2 weeks, people will start eating each other, man. It only takes about 2 weeks for people to turn into cannibals. And it will happen, man. You're going to see a lot of that. And we're not joking when we say these things. This ain't entertainment. This is real life. This is what's coming, man. If you was in the right spirit, you'd be getting right, man. You'd be damn near having nightmares. I'm telling you, man. It should be constantly on your mind. It's the only thing that matters. F your 9 to 5. F your plans for going on a cruise or starting a business, going to college. F all of that, man. F your career. Okay? None of that matter, man. That's all in vain. Okay? Yes, it's nice you was able to achieve certain position in life, but you got to count that as dung, because the only thing that matters right now is what is getting ready to be dished out to you, and it's going to be a life and death situation, man. So verse 20, Matthew 24 and 20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, because at the time this all kicks off, we're gonna have to be as pilgrims upon the earth, the scriptures say, man. In those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Can you grab that quick? I think it's 2nd Ezra's 16 and around 70 or something. Right? So during those times, you're gonna have to take flight, man. This is why the scriptures say, pray that your flight be not in the winter, because that's gonna make it even harder. That's gonna make that time even more challenging, man. If it's cold outside, you're talking about cold shower. If you even can have a shower, you're living in a tent in the cold and it's snowing. That ain't easy, man. Trust me, that ain't easy. So it says, verse 20, Matthew 24:20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So this is going to be the worst time there's ever been or ever has been. That's why we keep bringing this out, because of the fact that the Lord wants you to understand the times you're coming into. This is going to be the worst time mankind has ever seen. You're talking about the time of King Leopold II in Congo. That was a bad time for the people of Congo. You're talking about transatlantic slave trade. You're talking about 70 AD with the siege of Jerusalem. All of that, man. Those were tough times. But this time is going to be even harder. Okay?
Your precept.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. It says, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims on the earth. You know, so you gotta let go of this world, man. You gotta be as a pilgrim in the earth. What's a pilgrim group do? They migrate from place to place.
Yep.
You know, they move from place to place. They don't stay in one area.
That's it. They don't have a stable home to rest their head. They're not comfortable. Mm-hmm. They're on the move, man. You know, and it said at the beginning of that precept, oh, hear my people. It's talking to his people, the Israelites. This is for you. This ain't for the heathen, man. This message is for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, and anybody that's of Israelites scattered abroad. It may look like these other nations, like I said in the beginning, man. If this resonates with your spirit, you calling on the correct name, you understanding and believing in the correct doctrine, regardless of how offensive it seems, then you're an Israelite too. This is talking to you, his people, man, because his sheep hear his voice.
Yeah, the seed line that goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's it. You know, because we don't know who's an Israelite judging by appearance. We don't judge according to appearance. Scriptures state that, man. It's about your spirit, because the spirit is gathering the elect through the words of the Lord, which is coming through his prophets, man. You got to understand this. It's not really that difficult to understand. You just have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. When you hear them gunshots or whatever's going on over there, you're going to hear a lot of that in Jacob's Trouble.
That's right.
That's going to be every day you're going to hear that. Jacob's Trouble is going to be, you're going to hear screams everywhere. You're going to see fires everywhere. You're going to smell smoke. You're going to smell dead carcasses. You're gonna hear women getting ravished. You're gonna hear man, I'm telling you, man. This is why it says, prepare ye for the battle. Can you read that one more time, Babu Kusha?
Yeah, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 40. It says, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle.
That's it. Make you ready to the battle. That's why we keep bringing this out, because there's an urgency about it. You got to make yourself ready for the battle, man. Talking about the time we're coming in. Okay? Put on that armor, the helmet of salvation, the breath shield of faith, the sword of the truth. I forget exactly how it goes, but you get what I'm saying. You got to stock up on faith. You got to have the wisdom and knowledge to be stable in these times. Scriptures say knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times and strength of salvation.
Got that here if you want.
Yeah, Khan, you can
Yeah,
bring
this
that
is the
out.
book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation.
That's it.
The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
Yep.
The fear, that's the knowledge, the wisdom and understanding. Building that faith, that's keeping the commandments to the best of your ability. That's the fear.
Yep.
And that's our treasure, because we know that obviously if we're doing the will of the Lord, following after the Lord, seeking the Lord while he's still able to be, we're still able to call on him, our hope is that the Lord will have mercy on us and guide us through these times that he's about to, this judgment that he's about to send forth on the heathen of this world.
Because our salvation from what's coming is the Lord, man. Anything else is the ways of death. It's going to lead you to the grave. You're going to fall victim during Jacob's trouble, man. You're going to call upon the Lord and you're not going to be heard.
Yeah. And just to bring out the point that you was bringing out earlier about the women, like the women are going to get it worse. And I don't want to keep harping on the women, but this is because it's right here. I may as well just read it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32. I'm going to start at verse 9, because it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Right? So again, like that's a whole scripture dedicated to the women that are just careless out there, the ones that just live, independently, that live free. I don't need a man. I got my own business. I make my own money. Like none of that's gonna matter.
Yeah.
None of it's gonna matter.
Yep.
Do you think they're gonna care? Like when there's no food on the shelves. Oh, I got all this money. That money ain't gonna be worth the paper it's printed on.
Yeah, man. That's going to be toilet paper during that time.
Yeah, that's gonna be something to stoke the fire, because the economy, when the economy collapses, that paper currency ain't gonna be worth nothing.
No.
Other than just starting a fire.
Yep.
Like that 100, put it in the fire just to get the gather some wood.
Yep.
That's all that's gonna be worth.
Yep.
So all that money, all that proud boastfulness that you women, I'm not saying all you women, but you mainly, most of you women out there in the earth today, you don't want to seek the Lord, you want to do your own thing. Okay, cool. Watch what the Lord does to you. Says many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, because you are careless. A lot of them are just I don't care about none of that. Like, okay, cool.
They scoff at Isaiah 4:1.
Yep.
That's being careless, because you're not taking heed to the prophets, man. You're not taking heed to the word of the Lord.
Yep. Says, tremble, ye women that are at ease. Tremble. Like, be afraid, be frightened,
man.
Be fearful of what's coming your way.
Yeah, man.
If
If you ain't got a sense of fear within you when you hear us bringing this out, it's a good sign that you ain't gonna make it, and everything we've been talking about, you're gonna fall victim to that. Because women are gonna be gang ravished by a horde of migrants or whatever, man. That's coming, man. You women are, trust me, man. There's a lot of horny, wicked men out here, man.
Yeah, especially them Elamites.
They're not gonna have mercy on you just because you're screaming, kicking, saying, please let me go. They ain't hearing none of that. You're gonna be like a bit of fun for them during these times we're coming into, man. They're gonna let off some steam on you, man.
Yeah, you're a release.
Yeah, you're a release. Yeah, man. Like we ain't saying this. We ain't just saying this just because, man. We're saying this because it's that serious of a thing that's coming, man. The world's about to change, right? So this is how bad it's gonna be, right? Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days, talking about the days of Jacob's trouble that we've been speaking about, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. It's going to be that bad. The world will go extinct. The people will go extinct. It says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the world revolves around the elect of Israel, man. So because the elect that are coming back to the ways of the Lord is going to shorten the days. He's going to speed up the prophecies. He's going to make it to where he comes back quicker than, if he's going to come back sooner than expected, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
The Lord is getting ready to speed up the days during Jacob's trouble for the elect's sake. The Lord is going to do it's going to be divine intervention, man. Because we're going to need that during those times, man. We're going to need the Lord. That's the only way of our survival. I'm going to jump to Mark 13 and 20 real quick, because this is a precept. It says, and except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. Right? Now if I jump up a bit to verse 19, it says, for in those days shall be affliction such as was not from the beginning of creation, which the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai created unto this time, neither shall be. Right? I should have read it from there to start with, Salakia. But you get what we're saying. It's saying the same thing. It's repeating the same thing. Basically, we're coming into a time that's going to be the worst time on planet Earth that has ever been. We're talking about the flood of Noah. We're talking about the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. This time's getting ready to be the worst. Because you think about if this world is so reliant upon electricity and internet. If there's no electricity and internet for a certain period of time, and no food coming in and out, you don't understand how it's going to affect this place. You're not going to see food. The trash man coming up the road taking your trash. There's going to be trash everywhere, man. You're going to see human feces everywhere. You're going to see no running water, so people are going to stink. And that ain't going to stop men from approaching you and doing what they want with you women, man. Them men are going to be horny and they're going to be desperate and they ain't going to give a damn if you stink. It might help a bit, but you women, they ain't going to care, man, okay?
Yeah, so just touching on the point where you said, Yahushai speeding up the times because divine intervention is going to need to kick in, right? It reminded me of the book of Daniel, which I'm going to read here. So this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, and at that time, Michael, which is the chief angel, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, which is the Israelites, the elect.
So only Israel's going to be saved, man.
Yep.
If you ain't an Israelite, you're through.
Game over. And I'm going to keep reading. It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So again, there's a time like that has never been before. Trump slavery, Trump the transatlantic slave trade. Trump I don't even know. Like just any event that's happened in this earth that's a terrible time. This is going to trump that. And it says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. That's talking about the elect, the Israelites.
Yeah, 12 tribes, 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes, 144,000.
Exactly, and
2/3 of the I have to mention this, and the rest of the elect men and women and children.
Yeah.
Which ultimately comes into that 1/3 of Israel.
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, the time that we're coming into you know, there's going to be divine intervention. The chief angel, Michael's going to have to stand up and defend the people, you know?
Yeah, man.
And who knows, you're going to have,
Yeah.
like, you never know, man. It's unfathomable to think how it's going to all play out in those times, you know?
Yeah.
In a sense, it's exciting. It's exciting times because the Lord promised this was going to happen, and we're seeing it unfold right before our eyes, you know. And then you're going to see crazy things that you probably thought would never possible, you know. Angels, like, you know, you
Showing
got
up.
yeah, you know, angels showing up, and you know,
during
you think, oh man, this is it. I'm seeing a horde of these Edomites and migrants and all these people coming at me. What am I gonna do? And an angel shows up.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like that's hey, that's gonna be
And
crazy.
It's gonna boost your faith.
Yeah.
Trust me, because we're gonna see these miracles that are written, man. You know, brothers, all you brothers out there that are either watching this video or brothers that are making videos like this, you know, out teaching to the elect. Hey, a lot of you brothers that we've actually laid eyes on, they're gonna go through certain different scenarios during Jacob's trouble, and an angel is going to show up. Michael the archangel is going to show up. He could be a couple places at once. You know what I mean? But all I know is that divine intervention is going to happen for his elect, man. Some of us may even have spiritual power during that time, man. You know?
And that's why we out here doing what we're doing, man. Because we're the hopeful. We're the hopeful. We hope that's going to be, you know,
Us. Yeah, man.
yeah, that's going to be us in those times of trouble, man.
Yep.
Like you're in a pilgrim and you see the martial law troopers coming, the FEMA camp troopers.
You might go invisible.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the
Teleport.
angels snap his fingers and they just literally meet some you and they just walk by, can't even see you. You
Yeah.
just stood out in an open space
Yeah.
and they can't even see you. You know, that's
And it sounds crazy to some of you out there that might be watching. We understand that, but it's deadly serious.
Mhm.
There's more to this life than you understand. And I've witnessed miracles, man. I've seen chariots with my own eyes, like vibrant, like at one time in my life, it was in 1996. I was sat there on the front porch at night, just me. And it was deep in the country, so I'm pretty sure no one else saw it. It was late at night, no cars about, no people. Sat on the front porch, saw 3 green chariots hovering right in front of me, man, just in a field, not far from me, a field right in front of me. And it was like they were there for me. They were right there, dead in front of me. I didn't even have to turn my head left, right, nothing. Right there in front of me, man. 3 chariots. And I sat and watched them for about 20 minutes. This was before we had such thing as video cameras. I mean, mobile phones where you can record. We didn't have them. People were carrying pages around, man. You know? But it was in 1996 and I saw 3 chariots and they were 2 of them were stationary and one was just moving in like a frequency pattern back and forth between the 2 chariots. And that's all it did. And I just watched it till I got bored, went in the house. But you know, it was a miracle to see that. There ain't nothing in the earth that moves like that, man. And being who I'm becoming in these end times, now it's more clear to me as to why they showed up. It's because they were watching me. They knew who I was. I just wasn't who I am now back then. I was a nigger in the world, man. You know, in Christianity or whatever. But, you know, I'm just saying that miracles are going to happen for his elect, man. People are going to be able to teleport, walk through walls, fly, whatever, man. Levitate, teleport. It's going to be nuts. But this is the power that's coming to the elect men of Israel. And the Bible backs that up. Plenty of precepts that state that. You know what I mean? And if you don't believe me, ask me. And I'll show you the precepts that speak on that. I might even send you a link or 2 where brothers can properly break it down thoroughly. Because many brothers have done lessons on spiritual power. But that is definitely a thing that is coming to the men of the Lord, man. You know? Right, another thing I want to speak on, because we were talking about how you women are going to have it bad during that time. The way for you to receive salvation is get yourself a man of the Lord. Scriptures say that she shall be saved through childbearing. Okay? But ultimately, you know, being cleaved to a man of the Lord, being joined to a man of the Lord is going to be your salvation. Right? So it says here in Isaiah 13 and 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that doesn't mean any man out there, some nigger that's barely surviving and eating people to survive. I ain't talking about that, man. It's saying the men of the Lord, okay? The ones that the Lord is protecting, the ones that he's doing miracles for during that time. That man is going to be fine while everybody else is going through it, because the scriptures say, my servant shall eat. I don't know if you want to grab that real quick. My servant shall rejoice and sing for joy of heart, and you shall be hungry and be mourning for sorrow of heart. You know, roughly paraphrasing. Brother here, bring it out.
Yeah, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 13. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Right? So you know, hey, the Lord's gonna protect his people, his men, the elect that he's chosen. You know, servants are gonna eat. You know, when there's no food on the shelves, people are going crazy, kicking in other people's doors looking for their food. Hey, the men of the Lord are gonna be eating. You know, it says we're gonna be behold, his servant shall drink. You know, and ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You're gonna be ashamed. You're gonna be like, dang, I wish I would have listened.
Yeah.
Man, why did I think that I could do it on my own?
Yeah.
Why
Why did I call them black Hebrew Israelites and make fun of them? Why did I scoff, walk by the camp, and not listen?
Why did I take the Lord's name in vain and just cast it for naught? You know, they're giving me the name, and now I can't even remember the name. You know what I mean? Like, you again.
Because the fear of the Lord wasn't your treasure.
I mean,
like ours, you know. But it says it's servants.
Yeah.
Who are the servants? It ain't you Christians in the church clapping and singing, I'm a servant of the Lord. How are you serving him? By showing up every Sunday and putting a bit of money in the tithes and offerings, getting robbed? Is that how you're serving the Lord? Come on, man. You gotta wake up. Times are severe.
Mm-hmm. You want me to finish that? It's like one last verse.
Okay.
Verse 14, it says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You know, you're going to be in bad shape, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Vexation of spirit, howling. When your child is crying hungry and you can't feed it, and you seeing it getting skinnier and skinnier as the days go on. Horrible to even think of, man. But that's what's coming to you that think we're full of crap, man. You that ain't paying attention. You that think we're over the top. We're extremists. You guys are too serious. Things are gonna fix itself. Kamala's gonna save America. Joe Biden, Donald Trump's gonna fix everything. Quit worrying. Come on, man. So the scriptures talk about he's gonna make a man more precious than fine gold, right? Let me jump down a bit, right? Because this is what's going to happen during Jacob's trouble. It's Isaiah 13 and 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, right? So men are going to turn into hunters. The Israelites, you know, after all is said and done, come off the chariots, you know. Men are going to be turned into hunters. It says everyone that's found shall be thrust through, either shot or thrust through with a sword, whatever. You're going to be thrust through. It says, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So all you people that joined into, you wanted to save America, make America great again. You wanted to join these Edomites and these heathens and be one with them. Cleave to their ideologies and their philosophies and way of life, you know. And you women that are married to them, you know, because when you're married, you become one flesh. You want to join to these people, right? It says, shall fall by the sword. It says their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. A group of migrants coming in your house with machetes, hacking up your children in front of your face, man. It says their houses shall be spoiled. They're going to rob you of all the things you have, whether it be food or anything they need to survive. It says, and their wives ravished. And that will happen in front of a lot of you men out there, man. Your wives that you've been trying to protect during this time. You're going to have a horde of men kicking in your door, They're going to take what they want. That includes your wife, man. Your pretty little wife. Through. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Alright, because that's the times we're coming into. We just had to bring that out again. You know, we always go into this. I know a lot of you may think, I've heard it all before. Listen, this is the reason we sound like a broken record, is for you to take it serious. Really make it register, man. The times you're coming into are no joke, man. This ain't a joke, alright? This is deadly serious. You gotta have some balls during this time, because you're gonna see a lot of your people that you care about. They ain't gonna make it. They're gonna die. They're gonna be crying, coming to you for help, and you ain't gonna be in a position to help them. You're gonna have to be cold and tell them, look, I can't help you. It's gonna be every man for himself during that time. But the only ones that are gonna make it are the men of the Lord. That's why the scriptures say that the Lord will make a man more precious than fine gold, because the men of the Lord are gonna have the Lord, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai protecting them. And these women are gonna cleave to them, man. It says in Isaiah 4:1 that 7 women, seven meaning completion, complete number of women are gonna take, meaning several women are gonna take hold of one man during that time. It ain't gonna be like a rap video where you're just walking like a king with all these girls in your arm. Look at me, everybody, yeah, I'm the man. It ain't even like that, man. But all these women are gonna be cleaving to you, because they're gonna know you're the man of the Lord. You're one of the chosen. Everyone's gonna know who the chosen are during that time. And the women are gonna cleave to them for protection, man. Okay, it says, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. That means marriage. If they're called by your name, it means marriage. It means you're gonna have to pop them, because sex is marriage.
I got a quick precept here.
Yeah,
this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says, and a man, a righteous man, an Israelite man, and a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a rock, a great rock in a weary land. Like, that man's gonna be your covering.
Yep.
You know, that man's gonna be, you're out in the desert. He's gonna be that drink of water. You know what I mean? Like, that hot day. He's gonna be that great rock that shades you. The man's gonna be your protection.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no Pookie and Rayway gonna do that for you.
No.
A man of the Lord who's in order.
Yeah. All that, because women right now, all they want is the man with money, that look nice, got tattoos, or he's got long braids in his hair, a nice whip, he's got a good career. All of that is what women are after now, but the Lord about to switch it on you women, man. Mm-hmm. The men that you never thought are gonna be the prize, which are the prize now, but you just don't understand that yet. But during that time, you're gonna know who the prize is. It's gonna be the men of the Lord, all right? So these are the times we're coming into, all right? Brace yourself for it, right? We're gonna close it out here. Lord willing, you've been edified through this lesson, all right? We're gonna close it out. Give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash.
Shalom.
Shalom.